the young season. We'll see if they're able to defend that attack from the visitors. Pitt in the white, Lafayette in the maroon, and we are off from the Peterson Event Center. Hagans in control for the Panthers to start.
Yeah, and you see this starting lineup here. This same lineup was in for just about the entire second half last game against Robert Morris. And I asked Coach Tori Verdi about that. No changes in the lineup. He said these are the girls that were playing hardest.
Panthers turn it over, something that has kind of plagued them as an issue for the last couple seasons. And something they're going to try to want to limit today. Had a couple of these surprising losses in the early part of the season for the Panthers. They're going to try to avoid that today against Lafayette, a team like we talked about that trots out a number of really quality scorers on the offensive side. That one off the mark, and the Panthers will rebound. There you see the starting five for the Leopards on the road. Russ beyond the arc, leaving for Hagans at the point. Theresa Hagans, who's seen an uptick in minutes over the last few games, averaging 10 and change over the last 3 in the scoring department, as Lauren Russ gets on the board for the Panthers for the first time.
Love how they're already making an impact inside, especially with Lauren Russ, someone that has really honed in on being a bit of a utility player as well.
Lauren Russ averaging 11 rebounds per game over her last 3, someone who's contributed greatly on the boards for this Panthers side. As we'll get a jump ball up, possession arrow will stay the way of the Leopards. Here's your starting 5 for the Panthers. Similar look to what we saw at the end of that Robert Morris game, Gabby.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the group that, this is the go-to for Coach Tori Verdi. We'll be seeing a lot from them. A few subs pickled in here and there, but this is the group that did the best, got out of that 19-point deficit against Robert Morris.
Long 2 off the mark from Kiewit. Theresa Kiewit, the junior guard from Minnesota, averaging 12.5 points per game, which is good for first on the team. Like we mentioned, 4 players hovering right around that 10 to 12 point mark, but Kiewit the leader among those bunch. Another turnover early for the Panthers as Kiewit comes back up with it, goes down low for Nacho Najizi. And the 3 is good from the outside. It's Zerinskis with her first few points of the game.
And pretty characteristic from what we've mentioned, but that all starts from defense inside the paint. You see they are crashing hard inside. They're not letting Diakhate touch the ball, and the rebounding, more than one maroon color down low, but Diakhate able to get the bucket through them nonetheless.
Yeah, it's something we talked about with Tori Verdi about Diakhate using the size to her advantage down low, getting that offensive rebound there. Yeah, and the easy putback.
Sorry to cut you off. That's been something that we're going to see throughout the game, too. Her development inside. When she gets the rebound, Coach Verdi was a little bothered. She would, have a fadeaway shot or kind of avoid contact. So something to see there in the beginning of the game is really optimistic for her.
Krug trying to make some noise on the boards. She is ironing out. And the Panthers going the other way with a 1-point lead. There is Johnson getting to the hoop quickly and finishing.
Johnson with a hot start. That is something, if you're Coach Verdi, if you're this Panthers offense, you're excited to see more from.
Panthers 3 for 4 from the floor to start off. Kiewit working on Rust, and she does so successfully. First couple points for her.
Able to get through contact on that one, too.
Rust out to Hagans, straightaway 3. She's got it. Theresa Hagans, she's kind of developed that 3-point shot as the season has gone along. And it's been a really valuable asset for the Pitt point guard.
Yeah, and that's something, too, that comes with confidence. And these games in the non-conference schedule, you get experience as a freshman. For her, this is a vet move to take the shot like that instead of settling, setting up another offense, slowing the offense down. You got the shot, you're green light, you take it.
4-point lead for the Panthers, about 6 minutes and change to play in this first quarter. It's Nacho Nagizi at the top. 11.4 points per game for her on the season. Leaves it for Adamski from the outside, and she drains it. Adamski, one of those 2 main 3-point shooting options for the Leopards, shooting over 50% from 3 over her last 4 games.
And that is dangerous. This is a team that just shot 40% last game against Wagner. Now, they did commit 27 turnovers on top of that, so they can keep shooting the lights out from the 3-point line. They'll be cooking tonight.
Jones tries back ironing out. Talking to Coach Kia Damon-Olsen, that's something they're going to rely on if they want to get a result here in Pittsburgh as Angel Jones hits the mid-range jumper. That's where she has pretty much lived throughout the young campaign. Zerinskis turning and finding Kiewit on the outside. Kiewit using the screen, the baseline jumper off the mark into the hands of Lauren Rust defensively. And back on the offensive side of things for the Panthers, who have made 4 of 5. Hagans looking for Johnson at the top of the elbow. Off for Rust, who misses the short layup. Still battling, though, for the rebound. She comes away with it and is blocked in close. So the Panthers will stay in possession after that one goes out of play.
And one thing to point out in the interior defense, they are heavily pressing on that help defense coming from the opposite block. They do not want any offensive rebounds executed on.
5 different scorers so far in the game for the Panthers. They are the 5 that you see out currently on the floor as that pass goes into the second row and out of play. Off the deflection, though, so possession stays with the Panthers. Rust to inbound. It's Hagans at the top with 10 on the shot clock. Off to Jones. Johnson's got the chance for the corner 3. She misses just to the left there from that near corner. Zorinskis moving quickly the other way again. On the run, she hits the layup.
Zorinskis, such a shifty player, especially off the fast break. That is something they do so well, is taking advantage of transition opportunities.
Jones fumbling it for a second, but leaving for Hagans eventually, who makes a nice move at the elbow and drains the mid-range jumper.
Hagans is fun to watch, especially off the dribble, and something that she's honed in on too is short-range jumpers. You know, she does not have that much height as well, so something for her, being shifty, not getting all the way to the basket, short range is perfect.
Zorinskis and Hagans tied for the game lead with 5 points thus far. Nachunik easy off to Zorinskis, and now Adamski. Looking for options, under 5 on the shot clock for the Leopards. Zorinskis in control, has got to heave up the 3, and the foul is called on Johnson. Really bad foul for the Panthers. Shot clock was expiring there for the Leopards, but they'll go to the line. When we come back from Pittsburgh, 3-point lead for the Panthers about midway through the first quarter of play. It's Robert Morris, and they have remained out there until now when Amia Jenkins checks in for the first time. First of 3 from the line is good for Zorinskis, who was fouled on that 3-point attempt with 0.8 of a second left on the shot clock by Michaela Johnson before the break. Zorinskis, a 79% free throw shooter on the season. And she makes 100% of her first 3 of the night.
Zorinskis, one of the many on this team that plays like a veteran, but she is just a sophomore. And last year was the Patriot All-Rookie team and played in all 30 games. And this year versus Lemoyne had 20 points.
Amia Jenkins hits the bottom of the backboard on her attempt, but Diakhate is there to clean it up. Jenkins, one of these players, it's an interesting story for the Panthers, missed almost all of last season with an injury, and she's been kind of weaned back into the lineup by Tori Verdi and co. over the last few games. 3 off the mark again. 4 Panthers there for the rebound. It will be Hagans who comes up with it.
And you see Hagans laughing as she's bringing the ball up. Looked like Johnson was boxing her out.
Yeah. It was really all white jerseys down in the paint there for the Panthers on that last
Can never
free
be
ball.
too sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Jenkins, inlet pass for Rust, makes a move and goes with the left hand, but off the mark. Still a 2-point lead for the Panthers, who have led for almost 5 minutes of the 8 we have played so far. Zorinskis again. 2 for 2 from beyond the arc for her. She's already got 11 points in the game.
Zorinskis is like Steph Curry. Like, the moment she stops dribbling, she's going to shoot the ball and get ready to launch it for the 3-point line, and she has not been denied yet.
Have those 2 3-point field goals. Also went to the line for 3 and made all of those. So really, if you count it like that, 3 3-point field goals for her in the game so far, and Lafayette out to a 1-point lead.
Honestly, all of them, for the majority, have been right in front of us here on the top left elbow, beyond.
Kind of living in that same spot. Zorinskis loses it that time, though, and Johnson's going the other way. She's got Rust and Jenkins on her right. She will take it to the rack herself, though, and finish it off for 2 more. Johnson's got 4 now on the night.
Good way to make an opportunity out of a transition point. We see the turnovers already. I think that's something that if Pitt wants to get ahead quick, they have to generate more of those turnovers, especially up top with the ball handling. They can't let them rotate the ball either, because that opens spaces for Zarinksa's three-pointers.
Scanamilio gives down low to Kiewit on the move there, and she is fouled. A very low percentage look for her there, but she'll go back to the line.
I'll show you that Zarinksa's three again. Just look how quick, off the dribble, able to set something up, and so quick. The space, too. I think there was a little too much space that Pitt was able to give her. For an elite shooter like that, you can't let her breathe.
Yeah, really quick to pull the trigger off the screen. 3 games coming into today with 10 points or more. She's now got 4 after just 8 minutes of play. Patriot League all-rookie team last year as well.
And taking a well-deserved break, so
yes.
We'll be seeing more from her once she gets off the bench.
Very much so. Very well multi-rounded player for her, because she also leads the team in assists with 16, has 1 today, as Lafayette extends on their point total to 17 now to even it up with the Panthers. Just over 2 minutes to play in quarter number 1.
What's interesting, too, is when we talked with Coach Damon Olson, we obviously mentioned the three-point shooting and kind of praised that, but she didn't want anything to do that. She's like, I want more interior presence.
Absolutely. 5 3-point field goal attempts for the Leopards so far. 3 of them have gone down. As we're under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Jenkins, no hesitation there, going right to the hole, but she can't make that shot, and it goes back out of play. Panthers 8 for 17 from the floor so far. That's good for 47% over the first 8 minutes of play. Hagans to inbound, right back to Jenkins. Hollingsworth steals that one away. Looked like it might have been going back in transition for the Leopards for a minute, but Hollingsworth doing a nice job getting to the rack.
Yeah, Hollingsworth, too, was someone early on last game that was able to make the most of her opportunity. She had 6 points, but made every single field goal that she took. Very, I think, important piece to the bench that is able to give a much-needed momentum boost on offense.
11 points over the last 2 games for Hollingsworth, as we'll get a whistle. Take a time to show you Kia Damon Olson here in her 9th season as the bench boss for the Leopards. 84 wins in her career. You see those stops. A very experienced collegiate coach on the bench for Lafayette.
Yeah, she's very experienced, but the team that she's got is probably one of the youngest that she's ever had.
Kind of an opposites attract sort of situation there as her team. Very new for her, and still trying to sort of figure out how all these pieces come together in the young season.
Yeah, she returns 10 players from last season, but 5 newcomers that are true freshmen.
Right.
When you're in this new era of college hoops and the transfer portal, you see red shirts all the time. But when you have a freshman, someone that's just coming straight out of high school, that is a learning gap that you have to erase quickly.
Hollingsworth working through contact, unable to finish there, as Kiewit comes up with the rebound. Poser working on Russ, back to Kiewit, mid-range jumper is good. So some strong shooting for the Leopards in the early part of the game. 6 for 13 now from the floor, and they're back tied at 19.
Yeah, and I love how fast they play right off the rebound.
Hollingsworth off the mark. Panthers really getting off some quick shots early on in the game, not using too much of that shot clock there in the early going. Nachanagizi leaves back for Poser. And that one's stolen away. Jenkins. Nice little move there, and she finishes with the right hand.
That was clean, and something I mentioned earlier, if you want to halt this Lafayette offense, it's to get in the way of those rotational passes. Jenkins stepping in front of that and able to execute off the transition bucket.
Shot clock off for the Leopards in the final 5 seconds of play. Kiewit tries the contested jumper. That one off the mark. So the Panthers will get another brief opportunity to try to get back on the board going the other way. Hollingsworth to inbound. Rust off the floor for these final second and change. Hagans puts it up, and it's not off in time, so Pitt will carry.
Just a sophomore.
Yeah. Really impressive when you can get these underclassmen to come in and even in their second year sort of develop into these reliable scorers, and it seems like that's what Lafayette's got in Zarinksa so far. Maybe that might have been an off-ball foul called, as Kiewit, I think, will pick it up.
That is something that Coach Damon
Krug,
Olsen
actually
warned us about, is she wants to tire out Diakhate.
Yeah.
Explicitly said we need to take their big girl out and exhaust her.
Yeah. Diakhate so far, 2 for 3 from the floor with 4 points, but not necessarily that eye-popping stat line we've been seeing from her at some points this season as Jenkins hits the 3. Amia Jenkins, now 5 points for her.
We've said that they have not changed the rotation at all, but if you're trying to get back into this rotation, you're on the bench at Pitt, and there's no better way to do it than what Jenkins is doing right now, making the most of every single time she touches the ball.
Jenkins transferred in last season from Kentucky, was, like we mentioned, expected to be a really reliable player last season for the Panthers. Didn't get that chance, but she's kind of working her way back into the lineup here in 2025.
Yeah, ended the last quarter on a coast-to-coast steal, and now shooting from beyond the arc, doing just about everything for this Pitt offense.
Pitt leads by 5. It is their largest lead of the night so far. Angel Jones going back down for Diakhate, and that's a little bit too much room for her.
That's just old school Diakhate bully ball, able to use her body to get the inside open to free her hand and finish that.
Diakhate was 6-3-1, 3 for 4 from the floor for her. Krug for Zerinskis. It's been a little bit quiet as of late after she went to the bench. Haven't seen her put up a shot since. 9 and 8 on the shot clock for the Leopards. Kiewit back to Adamski, off the mark. Battle for the offensive rebound, but the Panthers able to come away with it.
Even back to that Lafayette miss. When they miss, it's so close too.
Yeah.
So they give more opportunity off those offensive rebounds as well. But something that we pointed out early on, the height difference, we pointed that out to Coach Damon Olsen. She didn't seem too concerned with it. But if you're looking at this Pitt offense, you're seeing Diakhate as Hagans knocks down the 3.
How about Theresa Hagans? 2 for 2 from deep now for her. She's got 8. And the Panthers now with 4 players with 4 points or more.
That is just about as quick of a start as you could get for a full 40-minute display.
10-point lead for Pitt. Nacha Nagise at the top. She'll make a move and put it up and in with the right hand.
This has been a bit of a back-and-forth game that we've seen so far. One team scores and the other one instantly gets back to the bucket.
Nacha Nagise's been a little bit quieter than we've been used to seeing her lately. Had 18 points earlier this season against St. Francis, was 6 for 7 from beyond the arc. Here's Jenkins with 10. Been in control of the ball quite a bit over the last 10 minutes, but a nice defensive play there from Krug. It's got Lafayette going back the other way. Nacha Nagise tries from deep, and she makes the open 3.
I think she heard you before.
Yeah, right. Seems like it. Her first 3-point field goal attempt goes down. Excuse me, her second goes down, as Jenkins will try again on the other end, and she's got another one from deep.
Jenkins is relentless. 2 for 2 from the 3-point line now. Has just about 8 points as well off the bench.
Back and forth we go here in the second quarter. Jenkins again gets that one picked away from her by Zerinskis. Adamski off the mark from deep. Just the 3rd missed field goal attempt in this quarter for either team. As Angel Jones will try and finally slow things down here. A little bit under midway through this second quarter. Excuse me, that's Hagans off to Jones now. Moving pass from Jones to Hollingsworth off the mark. Nice little spinorama there from Adamski, but she can't finish. The second attempt, though, goes down.
What it looks like on that transition defense as far as Pitt goes, they look a little tired as Coach Verdi doesn't like what he sees.
Lead was once 10 for the Panthers. It is down to 6 here.
Very balanced, and like we've said time and time again, that's the full 40-minute effort. That's what we're testing throughout our narration to see if they can showcase that.
The leaders for the Panthers, Hagans and Jenkins with 8 apiece. I tell you what, if Amia Jenkins can come back for this Panthers team and play a big role offensively, that is going to be a huge add as the Panthers continue to work in their late non-conference and early conference schedule.
Yeah, and I really like the duo with Hagans and Jenkins up top, able to be threats not only from inside the paint on the drive downhill, but also both 2 for 2 from the three-point line.
Hagans really molding into that scoring point guard that the Panthers have been looking for so long, as Nacho Nagizi misses from deep. Jones to Russ. Panthers regroup offensively with a 6-point lead. It's Diakhate again. She's getting a little bit more room as of late and taking advantage of it on the blocks.
Yeah, that was great eyes on the drive down low to Diakhate, and you see the help defense. Not many numbers down there, so Diakhate able to execute off the 2-on-1.
8 points now for Diakhate, so that's 3 Panthers with 8. Diakhate 4 for 5 and 3 rebounds as well, as Lafayette looks to work their way back in with 8 on the shot clock. And a really nice play by Zorinskis again. We hadn't seen her shoot in a little bit, but she is just as efficient as she left off with. As you see, Diakhate's development from last year kind of didn't play as big of a role at Georgia as Johnson drains the 3, but kind of coming into Pitt and really finding her home there down low.
Yeah, and I think it's so funny throughout this game. We can't get a thought without scoring, as we see another one.
Very appropriately timed there.
Oh, man, it is raining points from just about anywhere today.
Adamski with her second 3-point field goal. 5 now in the game for the Leopards. Russ, mid-range jumper, had some room but unable to convert. Zorinskis in a 6-point hole with a little bit over now, under 4 minutes to play in the second quarter. Nacho Nagizi with Quealy on her. Zorinskis over to Adamski, and she hits again from way outside. Adamski's up to 11.
And she made that look effortless. Lauren Rust was running in her face, and she got that off.
Lafayette's made their last 3 from the field on a 6-0 run over the last 30 seconds and change, and have worked their way back to a 1-possession game. Johnson to Quealy. Under 10 on the shot clock. Nice pass down low from Diakhate to Rust. A little bit of a reversal of the roles there.
That down low play is picking apart the defense down low from Lafayette. They're slow on their help slides, and Rust and Diakhate are making them pay for it.
Beffert working down low. She works through contact and gets 2 more for the Leopards. The 5th score for Lafayette. Back and forth we go. Back to that high tempo pace we were talking about earlier. Slowed things down for a little bit, but end to end again between the Panthers and the Leopards. Lafayette's made their last 4 from the field. 15 on the shot clock for Nacho Nagizi. Diakhate coming all the way out to defend her. Diakhate, the ball right behind her, didn't see it at first. Leopards dive on it, but got to scramble now with under 5 on the shot clock, as Valente misses the running jumper. Bit of an out-of-system play there from the Leopards offensively, unable to convert, and now the Panthers in possession with about 2 minutes to play in this half. Both teams shooting 50% or better from the floor. Corner 3, Johnson short. Rebound goes to Beffert, now Nacho Nagizi the other way. As Quealy's able to deflect that one and out of play, the Panthers will get possession back with 1:46 to play in this second quarter.
I have to say, throughout this game, I don't think I've ever seen that many shot opportunities where you're just, once you look at the basket once, you're either taking it to the hole or you're shooting it right away. Yeah. Everyone is a threat on this floor. And, you know, we mentioned off camera before, actually after the first media timeout, how it's kind of been a one-woman show, but now you got the spread out Lafayette offense that we were talking about in the intro.
That was the billing coming in, and they've kind of took a minute to get to that, but they have certainly gotten back to that sort of balanced attack as Hollingsworth missed the first shot and the follow-up. Rebound goes back to Johnson, though, as she misses the reverse. Leopards trying to stay hot from the field. Panthers have missed their last 4. Lafayette's made 4 of 5. Zorinskis to the corner. And Kiewit hits. Tie ball game in Pittsburgh at 39 right before the half.
And that's another sweet spot on the floor. Adamski hit 2 from there. And then you go right back to that same spot with the elevator screen to free up the shot.
Yeah, another really quick possession for the Panthers, and Zelinskis is going back to the hole, and Zelinskis converts and will go back to the line. Potential for a 3-point play towards the end of this first half. 13-2 run for the Leopards.
And they just gained the lead off that bucket too. But look at the ball movement here. You see the screen to free up the shot in the corner. That was run twice in a row for Adamski, back-to-back 3-pointers. And then Zelinskis on the fast break. Such great body control for someone who, doesn't have much of a height advantage. So she's able to control her body, contort it in a way that she's able to finish through the contact.
Zorinsky is playing a near-perfect game for the Leopards. 16 points, 5 for 5 from the floor, 2 for 2 from deep, 4 for 4 from the charity stripe, and she's also got 5 assists as Hagan goes rimming out.
She is in every stat line tonight.
Zorinsky, what a move to get by the defender, Hagans.
She's just showing off now.
My goodness, 16-2 run for the Leopards. They lead by 5, shot clock off for the Panthers.
And it makes you wonder, she is the playmaker for this Lafayette offense. Do you hard mark her? I think that might be a move for Pitt.
Took some time off at the end of that first quarter, but she has picked up right where she left off. Panthers trying to get something here at the end of the half, and they turn it over.
And I think I mentioned it too when she was on the bench. She's gonna get a much needed rest and come out swinging, and she certainly has.
6 seconds to play. Zorinsky in possession. She gets her pocket picked by Hagans. Chance on the DP from Jenkins. Very close there from the logo, but off the mark. And the Leopards close out the first half. On the Pitt side of things, Diakhate kind of got back in the scoring column, was a little bit quiet at first, but is one of 3 Panthers with 8 points, heading into the second half with a 5-point deficit.
And Lafayette had an explosion from the first quarter to the second quarter, scored 20 points to make this 44-39.
Adamski from deep, and they pick up right where they left off.
And she picked a different spot on the floor this time. Must be the other side of the court.
Yeah, flip it around a little bit, but effective nonetheless. Hagans and Pitt kind of need an answer here. Off the mark, and that deficit stands at 8. Adamski going right to the rack. She goes down, and the lead is now 10 for the Leopards.
And when you're a 3-point threat, you're able to do a little hezzy to get the defender to close out a little too hard. And what a strong finish to find Lauren Rust down low. And Rust still has not gotten up from that fall.
Rivalry. Lafayette coming from Easton, Pennsylvania, as Adamski makes and finishes the 3-point play. Easton, Pennsylvania, also home of the Crayola Experience, which is essentially an amusement park revolving around crayons. So there's your little fun fact about Easton, Pennsylvania.
Have you been? Surely you've gone.
I have not been. I would like to go, but
there's a lot of amusement parks around here.
I'm trying to figure out what that would be like about.
Yeah, right?
Like a log ride maybe, but it's a crayon. Johnson off the mark from deep. Panthers still looking for answers in 11-point hole, but Jones comes back with the offensive rebound. Our technical director, Jack Reynolds, has been to the Crayola Experience. So one person in our ACC network control room has experienced the Crayola Experience.
I need to ask him after the game how that was. No, there's so many different amusement parks in Pennsylvania. Very interesting.
Apparently you get to like make your own crayons and stuff there. That sounds
interesting. I don't know if that beats making your own chocolate bar at Hershey.
Yeah, Easton, I mean, that feels like the perfect one-day activity. Like you do that and then that's probably about it.
Yeah.
Hagans at the top. 9-point deficit still for the Panthers with 8 to play in the third quarter. And that one's taken away. Adamski back the other way through contact. And these Leopards just keep pressing on the transitional offense.
And she had a sprinting Hagans inching under her. I don't even think she knew that Hagans was behind her. What a great finish from Adamski.
And don't look now, but she is the leading scorer in the game now with 19, surpassing Zorinsky's 18.
Talk about a 1-2 punch from this offense from them two.
Hagans, open three. Panthers needed it, and they got it off the roll.
That is what they call a friendly bounce.
Back to an 8-point game. Hagans the leading scorer for the Panthers with 11. Both teams very efficient from beyond the arc, as a rare miss from Adamski hops over that backboard and out of play.
Adamski playing lights out right now, and that starts on the defensive end here. Able to get ahead of that pass from Hagans. You see, look how close Hagans was from stealing that ball. Makes it that much more impressive with the finish.
8 of Adamski's 19 coming in this third quarter that is just 3 minutes old. Hagans to Johnson. Panthers going around the world beyond the arc. Hollingsworth, who's seen a few minutes of play, and she is fouled. See what Haley Adamski's done in the third quarter. Cannot ask for much more than that. And like we mentioned, just over 3 minutes of play.
It makes you wonder when Pitt is going to have an answer for both of them. From what I've seen so far, you see a little bit of an extended 2-3 zone. And obviously you're trying to halt the three-point line, but I still think they're giving enough room to at least breathe. And when you're an elite shooter, you can't have that.
Both teams have led by double digits. Pitt the latest run at 6-0. They've made their last 3 from the floor. Leopards looking for a response here. Good person to get it from here with Zerinskis, but she passes it down low. Nacho Nagizi working on Hagans. Krug, mid-range, well off the mark.
You see, that's exactly what Pitt would want. Try to get Lafayette to beat them with anyone else but Adamski and Zerinskis.
Oh man, Hollingsworth had a really good chance in the follow-up. Didn't make it, but she's fouled on the third attempt from the floor for the Panthers, as they are back within 5 points.
That is how you make more scoring opportunities for yourself. If nothing is clicking, get yourself to the charity stripe.
Somehow the scoring margin 8-8 in the third quarter. Feels like we've been going up and down so much it's a little tough to keep track of, but all even in the second half so far. Hollingsworth to the line for 2. Back iron and out on the front end. Second trip to the line for Hollingsworth, who had a 3-point play earlier on in the day. She is 1 for 2 and now 2 for 3 from the charity stripe. Pitt back within 4. Zerinskis back to Nacho Nagizi. Mid-range jumper from Adamski doesn't go.
That is a little dangerous for Lafayette getting it inside. I know there hasn't been much of a scoring threat there, but that's how they're able to open up the scoring for their 3-point shooters.
Nice play by Johnson to get free, going between the defenders, but unable to make the short-range shot, and the deficit stays at 4 for the Panthers. Zerinskis quickly to the first step again, but she can't make the running layup.
And I think that was finally her first miss of the game, her first true miss of the game.
Certainly overdue. She has played a tremendous game. Kiewit going to the basket. We've seen these Leopards guards make some strong moves in the paint, and they capitalize again to bring that lead back up to 6.
It's so impressive how they're all able to handle the ball after they've lost it a little bit and still able to finish it as if nothing happened.
Spin move by Hagans, can't make the layup. Still a fight for the rebound. It goes back to Hagans. 15 on the shot clock for Pitt as they get a fresh 20 after the offensive rebound. Hagans in no rush at the top. Still no room, and she turns it over. Beffert was right there to take it away. Kiewit short. And all of a sudden, we are trying to buy a made field goal here.
Very uncharacteristic. We couldn't talk a few minutes ago without scoring.
Lafayette still at that 50% mark from the floor in the game, 20 for 40. The mark for them, the Panthers at 41%. Diakhate trying to get some room, and she does so.
They finally make a bucket after going 0 for 5 from the field.
Diakhate 4 rebounds away from a double-double with those 10 points of hers. Zerinskis, little floater from the free throw line, and she misses her second consecutive shot attempt that made her previous 6.
Yeah, I can't believe we're even saying that
right.
at this point in the game.
Hagans. Diakhate had a shot attempt, maybe a little bit from behind the backboard, but she drills it nonetheless.
Diakhate back-to-back buckets, gives her 12 points on the day.
And this seesaw of a game has the Leopards lead now just 2, with a little bit under 3.5 to play in this third quarter. Kiewit, nice looking play there. The mid-range bunny goes down.
And there's the scoring that we know and love. Back-to-back from Pitt, now back to Lafayette. Kiewit playing a great game all around.
3 players in double digits for Lafayette. Zerinskis 18, Kiewit 12, and Adamski's 19. Jenkins, chance for the open corner 3 off the mark again from her. She's gone a little bit cold from the field as of late, but Hollingsworth fighting for the rebound. And she will come away with it. But the Panthers still trailing by 4 to Lafayette. It's 56-52 here at the Peterson Event Center with just over 12 minutes to play in Pittsburgh. Then some. Extremely efficient from the floor for her as she will take a seat with a little bit over 2 minutes remaining in this third quarter of play.
We saw what happened with Zerinskis when she took a break in that first half.
Great point.
It exploded for some points. Hopefully for Lafayette that happens with Adamski.
Another miss from the field for the Panthers, but another offensive rebound for Pitt. That's their 14th on the offensive boards. Matches up with Lafayette's 3, so a huge advantage there for the Panthers.
And you see down low, Lauren Rust rocking the mask. And if you weren't tuned in before, Rust took a really hard hit to her nose off a drive.
4-point lead for the Leopards here, just over 2 minutes to play. Came in for a minute there, but returns to the Pitt sideline.
Yeah, respect to her for even coming in. With just a plastic mask on my face, I think I'd be terrified.
Scanamilio over for Krug. Poser with 12. Working on Quealy, now Jenkins. Back to Poser, the step back attempt from 3 goes down. First shot of the game for Poser, and it's a big one.
And I'm starting to think the 3-point shot is a layup for just about everyone on the Lafayette offense. It must be a requirement. You have to be able to make a 3-pointer, especially have a step back for Lafayette.
Diakhate turns it over off the bobble, but yet another 3-point field goal for the Leopards. 9 for 18 from deep.
How about like just coming into the game too, and those are your first points?
Another 3-point attempt. And a miss there as Diakhate comes away with it.
And I've mentioned it time and time again, the fact that Lafayette is able to get the ball inside with ease is concerning if you're Pitt, because that opens up the outside shooting.
Jenkins to Diakhate. Johnson with 15. Quealy spinning, looking for some room, and a nice finish there.
Quealy with a strong move. Not much you could do there. Defense was on her like glue. She was just able to play bully ball and get herself to the bucket.
Panthers had been held off the scoreboard for about 2.5 minutes up to that point. Nice move again from Krug down low. She's got her first couple to go along with 4 rebounds and 2 assists in 18 minutes.
And she's been working hard on the boards as well, so good to see her get a bit of a stat line and points.
Some more sloppy play from the Panthers. Aaron pass, and they get charged for the backcourt violation. We'll take another look at this play from Quealy.
Quealy just so strong downhill. But on the other end, to answer is Crew from Lafayette. And she's got the height difference there to get inside and finish in the paint.
Lafayette outscoring the Panthers by 2 here in this third quarter. Half minute to play until the break. Corner 3 well off the mark from Scanamilio.
Still makes you wonder. You see how much time that she had to get that shot off.
Shot clock off. Panthers will presumably try and work for the last shot. It's Quealy. Johnson rotating to the block through contact. Can't get that one to go. Back to Lafayette with 2 and 1 to play in this third quarter. They will not get a shot off as we hit the break. Lafayette now up 7 points.
For those three-point attempts, and that's why they have these open looks. So at what point, if you're Pitt, are you gonna stop that inside pass to eliminate those looks?
Seen the opponents for the Panthers relying on that three-point field goal in the early part of the season, and Lafayette has continued to follow that blueprint as the Panthers turn it over again with Krug on the steal.
Man, I said it a little quiet on inside scoring, but defensively they have been non-stop and they've kept Diakhate at a halt.
Adamski, poser again from 3, but not good that time. Diakhate fighting for the board, but Lafayette just putting in a little bit more work there, and they come away with it as we will get a whistle. Not exactly sure what for, but I think we're just going to get an inbound on this near side of the court. It'll be Scanamilio. Yeah, it's a shot clock issue. So the Leopards will have 20 seconds now to shoot back in possession. Adamski, Diakhate on her, and passes it into the hands of Diakhate, but Poser there to clean it up.
And they're lucky that Diakhate had the height difference there because there was a backdoor wide open from Kiewit.
Krug converts. Those forwards for Lafayette haven't done a whole lot offensively today, but they have drawn those defenders in, and Krug has converted a few times now. She's got 4 and 4 rebounds as well. 8-point lead for the Leopards on the road.
Able to keep the 8-point lead without Zorinxis on the floor throughout it.
Hagans. She has been the go-to player for the Panthers when they need a big shot, and she makes another one from deep there. 4th of the game for her from beyond the arc.
All the underclassmen, both sides of this game, have just been playing excellent, like true vets on the floor.
Hagans absent on the floor the last few minutes for the Panthers before that timeout, but she comes right back on and makes a huge shot from deep to cut that deficit to 6. Scanamilio tries from deep, and she hits! 10th three-point field goal of the game for the Leopards.
That was right over a Diakhate as well. 9 for 21 in three-pointers as a team.
Another answer for the Leopards. That has been the story so far tonight as Johnson comes up short on the 3. Largest lead for the Leopards tonight is 11. They could match that here with a 2. Krug on Diakhate. Kiewit using some speed to get to the block, and she makes the fadeaway jumper.
That was sweet. That was Nowitzki-esque. That was beautiful. A little bit of a fadeaway.
Johnson getting physical, and she is charged with the offensive foul.
Doing it on both sides, but take a look here. We'll show you the three-pointer from Lafayette over Diakhate. Well, Mike Breen bang, I think that one deserved there. But how about this? For inner Dirk Nowitzki fadeaway and targeting Diakhate on both those possessions. And then on the other end, Kiewit able to get the charge, offensive charge, and get the ball back for Lafayette.
Kiewit, one of 3 Leopards with at least 14 points in the contest. Foul called, and the Panthers will get back in possession as Nacho Nagizi went to the floor. Panthers run out of time here. 7 minutes to play, 11-point deficit. Staring down the barrel of loss number 3 on the young season. Hagans looking for options. Thought about the 3. She will take the 3. A rare miss from deep for Hagans. Arzner fighting for the offensive rebound. She puts it up, goes to the deck, misses, but the Panthers will stay in possession.
Arzner replacing the injured Lauren Russ down there, kind of playing like a cleanup position, if you will.
Arzner start making her first career appearance a few games ago against Lemoyne. One of these players Tori Verdes had come off the bench and Sort of just a hard worker as the Panthers turn it over on the violation. Pitt not doing the little things right here down the stretch. They are looking at an 11-point deficit, improve their game from the 24-25 season, and are taking advantage on this power conference matchup on the road against the Panthers.
And this right now is the first time in a while where all three of those guards, the stars of the show, have been in at the same time.
Hagans is blocked. Kiewit comes away with it. Zerinskis now in control at the top. Zerinskis, no points in half number 2 for her. Second leading scorer in the game, though, still with 18. Nacho Nagizi gives down to Kiewit, who finds Zerinskis back on the opposite side of the floor. 3 seconds to shoot. Zerinskis with the left hand rolls in and out. Offensive rebound, though, goes back to the Leopards. And Kiewit is fouled.
And that starts with Krug down low. She knows her role tonight. It's to beat out Diakhate on every single bounce off the rim. And she's done that tonight.
Arsner out, Jenkins in for the final 5:50. Nacho Nagizi working her way in on Jenkins, one-on-one. She comes up short, gets her own rebound though, still working on Jenkins. Back out to Zerinskis, straight away 3 from Adamski off the mark.
That is very uncharacteristic, a little bit of a low blow for Lafayette, but you're gasping for relief if you're Pitt right now, especially midway through the 4th quarter.
Panthers need some scoring, and they need it now. A scoring drought of over 3 minutes now, heading into the final 5 minutes of play. Hagans makes a move, gets inside, and comes up short on the layup again. Panthers have missed their last 5 now from the field.
And you see now this fast-paced offense in a comfortable enough position in this game. They're able to set things up and take as much time off the clock as they can.
Kiewit off the mark. No points for either side in about 2.5 minutes of play, but the Leopards will take that every day of the week at this point in the game. Jenkins fresh off the bench. Bobbles it and turns it over. None of the last 9 shots from either team have gone down, but Nacho Nagizi brings an end to that stretch, and the Lafayette lead is up to 14 points, their largest of the night.
Nacho Nagizi said, wait, Zach, 1 sec.
Yeah, second time tonight she's done that. Jones looking for an answer for the Panthers. They go to Diakhate, who can't make the open layup. Really tough go with it for the Panthers defensively.
And right when Zach said there's been lack of scoring for the past 2.5 minutes, there goes Nacho Nagizi from the corner in the 3-point line. They're the bench right in front of her bench. Gets them off their feet.
Sada Nacho Nagizi, the junior guard from Quebec, making a big 3 down the stretch. Hagans the floater off the backboard and in.
Hagans now with 16 points. She has been a spark for this offense tonight.
8-0 run for the Leopards snapped after that bucket from Hagans. She's got 16 on the night. Nacho Nagizi with Hagans on her. Krug. Nacho Nagizi straight away 3. No. Hagans going the other way with 3:52 to play. She has been in control of the ball quite a lot of the time in the last few minutes for the Panthers. And she'll hold at the top of the key. Jones pulls up. Diakhate going to work. Foul called. It's going to be Krug. That's her 3rd.
Krug a little upset with, looks like herself. Got her beat. Or Diakhate, excuse me, got her beat. The body positioning down low. Not much you could do when you got a strong Diakhate driving right toward you.
Pitt, one of their last 7 from the floor. Jones to Hagans to Johnson around the horn. Hollingsworth. Season high 24 minutes for her. She is blocked. And once again, the Leopards stand on defense.
A pretty quiet Pitt offense. We were saying all around effort. but nothing from Jones and Johnson, who just had 20 points last game, just 7. So needing an answer emphasized throughout this game has come to life. And 2 of them in this half alone. Adamski exploded for 8 points in the 3rd quarter. And Kiewit making an impact, especially in the 2nd half toward the end of it.
You see Zarinskas with those 18. She had that at halftime. It was 2 points off her career high. We figured she was going to get there pretty soon. She has not been a factor in the 2nd half offensively, but has not been an issue for the Leopards as players like Kiewit have stepped up, and she's got 16 now.
Yeah, it's been a lot of quiet play from the typical star powers on offense. You see on Pitt's side, I mentioned before the break, Jones, not much action. Johnson, not much action.
Another turnover.
And then on the other side, Zarinskas has a goose egg in this 2nd half.
You see Lafayette, we mentioned those 4 players over 10 points per game coming into the evening, and that has rung true. 3 players with 16 points or more in what figures to be a winning effort for the Leopards on the road. Kiewit for good measure.
Kiewit has the bench going nuts. One of the assistant coaches is going crazy.
13-2 run for the Leopards. 19, 19, and 18 the point outputs for Adamski, Kiewit, and Zarinskas.
And now tied for scoring leaders of the game are Kiewit and Adamski.
15-5 the advantage for the Leopards in quarter number 4. As that one rolls in and out from Audrey Biggs off the bench. Talked about Pitt needing a complete 40-minute effort earlier tonight, and they did not get it against Lafayette.
It is a shame, because I mentioned in the beginning of this game, starting fast. They started out pretty fast. Just not been able to answer a lot of opportunities, especially from the 3-point line in Lafayette. You can't give Kiewit enough space like that. Look at the bench. I love the energy, especially going into the holiday on a good note, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a fun bus ride back to Easton. Panthers holding with 1 minute and 20 seconds left to play. Arzner off the mark. Panthers have gone cold from the field in the 2nd half, shooting 30% from the floor and 18% in the 4th quarter. Off-ball foul called. I believe it's going to be on Arzner with just over a minute to play. Panthers on track to finish this game 1 for 10 from the floor.
And looking at how much work Lafayette has done on the 3-point line, 12 for 27. 27 shot attempts is impressive enough for the 3-point line.
Under a minute to play at the Peterson Event Center. A really impressive effort for Coach Kia Damon-Olsen and her Lafayette Leopards. Extending this winning streak to 4 games. Off the mark there as Arzner comes up with the rebound.
Coach Damon-Olsen told us before this game that she wants her team in the tournament postseason.
Yeah.
They are ranked preseason 9th in the Patriot League, but things may change at the end of this as they're showing out against a Power 4 team.
10 on the shot clock for Pitt. It's Arzner on the elbow. She's off the mark again, and Lafayette putting the finishing touches on this win. A really impressive road effort and road win for the Lafayette Leopards, who came in today and played with some swagger. A huge win on the road at the Peterson Event Center. 76-59 your final score, a 17-point win.